The other thing that I would like to mention about the use of ICT is the exchange of faculty. Like, again, some of the speakers here have said, there is need for faculty across the globe to compare what they're doing in the universities. And thirdly, there is need for universities to get involved, to moderate, to have a moderating effect on other contributions. I think somebody mentioned yesterday about citizen reporting and citizen journalism. And the question was, in one of the sessions yesterday, how do you, separate the good from the bad? Because the media is sort of a double-edged sword. Some people abuse it to encourage the development of stereotypes and such things. So, for me, therefore, the university participation in using these tools would be, to be able to define the agenda authoritatively because of the independence and sort of academic disinterestedness. Because when you do research, you're doing it from an angle of neutrality. What has been done, like I mentioned, Uppsala University, huge database where they post research findings and also undertake an international media monitoring of conflict situations around the world. I think I'll stop at that.
Thank you very much. Our last speaker is Hetty Van Gurp, who is president of Peaceful Schools International based in Nova Scotia. Thanks.
Thank you all. Throughout the day yesterday, I heard a recurring theme that is music to my ears. And the theme that resonated loud and clear with me is the need to educate our children and youth, both their hearts and their minds, so that they will grow to be compassionate and caring adults who understand their responsibility to make good decisions, to feel empathy for others, to be respectful of diversity, to communicate effectively, and to solve their problems peacefully. But you and I both know that this will not happen simply because we all wish for it. The older I get, the more firmly I believe that we need to teach peace in a deliberate, conscious, and comprehensive manner from the time that our children start school in kindergarten until they graduate with a university degree. I spent most of my adult life, about 30 years, as a classroom teacher and a school administrator. And for the last 10 years, I have been working with schools around the world, and these schools have declared a commitment to creating and maintaining a culture of peace, creating an ethos in which all children feel safe and valued and respected. I do this work in my role as founder of Peaceful Schools International, which is a Canadian charitable organization started 10 years ago. We have over 300 member schools in 15 countries. We have no paid staff and rely on the goodwill of a dedicated network of volunteers. PSI, as an organization, has its roots in a personal tragedy. In 1991, my elder son Ben, who was 14 years of age at the time in a grade 9 class, was being harassed or bullied by a classmate. On one day when Ben was in the gymnasium watching a basketball game, the boy who had been harassing him ran across the gym floor, hip-checked him, which caused Ben to fall, and in the fall, an artery in his back severed, and he died that night in hospital as a result of internal bleeding. I was teaching at the time, and in my despair, I wondered, or asked myself the question, why doesn't somebody do something to ensure that this doesn't happen to another child or another family? And eventually I woke up to the fact that I was somebody, and perhaps there would be something that I could do, as simple as it was, which was to start teaching peace in my own classroom. I incorporated peace education into everything that we did on a daily basis. One thing led to another, and 10 years later, I found myself doing a lot of traveling, speaking with and working with teachers who were like-minded and who also saw the need to teach peace, and yet there was nothing in place to support them or to recognize their efforts. Peaceful Schools International does that. It acts as a catalyst and a clearinghouse for innovative, practical ideas that work to create a safe and caring, peaceful school environment. Patricia mentioned a tipping point this morning. I dream of a day, perhaps before I leave this earth, when we will reach a tipping point when teaching peace is no longer considered to be an option in our schools, but it will be a vital part of daily life in everything that we do with all children in all schools. And I only hope that I am in a room full of dreamers. Thank you.
Well, thank you. There have been many interesting comments made this morning. Different issues, approaches, perspectives, personal stories that are inspiring and saddening at the same time. I'd like to open the floor now to questions, and I guess where I'd like to start would be with the students who are here. What we're talking about are educational programs that are designed to benefit you. Would there be a couple of questions from students that you would have about this topic, this conversation that we're having? No? Are there other questions from the floor? Why don't we take 3 questions, and then the panel will we'll sort out who answers them. So let's take the 1, 2, and 3. Just let's take all the questions at one time, and then we'll sort out who answers them. So go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Putra from Indonesia. I would like to tell the audience here that early this month, our Indonesian Waddick was recognized by the UNESCO, and we were very happy about it. Because why we were happy? Because we think that that's the recognition of international society that Waddick comes from Indonesia, not from our neighboring country. We have been fighting, quote unquote, about it, claiming that it was who owns it. What I'd like to ask to the panel is, how do universities teach something about the source of conflict that has something to do with the cultural or heritage thing? Because I believe that if the conflict of source is food scarce, the agricultural university can give an answer to that, and food technology, poverty, or economical injustice, they can make a new theory for economics that can give justice. But or maybe energy, water crisis, they can come up with the reverse osmosis technology that can make us drink from seawater. But how about the cultural and heritage? Do you have any opinion on that? Because I think that doesn't happen only in Indonesia and Malaysia, but also in Thailand and Cambodia, dispute over Grebel. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The second question.
My question is about, we talked about who can be mediators for any conflict. It can't be people who are involved in the conflict. It has to be an external person. So the question is, are there examples in universities of having prepared such people? Because from the article, we are starting a university in June 2010, and we want to create peace ambassadors. So we would be very happy to work with other universities in building a curriculum and so on, to create that, because we believe it has to be an external person who can go and be a mediator. So are there already existing examples in the university around the world which have created such programs and delivered such programs and such people who would be called peace ambassadors? That's one question. The other is about the schools, Peaceful Schools International. I congratulate you on what you have done, and I also would like to offer our help to you if you think we can work together. this successfully in many schools in the United States now, where we've addressed the specific topic of bullying. And we've been able to give students practical techniques which will help them get over this and create an atmosphere of peace in the school. So, I would like to work with you on this. Thank you very much.